Hi, welcome to King's Corner. I'm Jerry, I'm your host. Well, the good feelings didn't last long, did they? Uh, Red Sox, after winning four straight against the Yanks and winning the first game of that series against the Nats, they got powdered in the next two games, 10-2 and 8-1. Uh, Terrible. Everything was terrible. The offense was terrible. The pitching was terrible. The umpiring was terrible. It was a bad two nights. Uh, let's start with the first game. I mentioned the other day the first base umpire throwing Contreras out of the game in the game one. Just a pathetic example of umpiring, which didn't get better as the series went on. What's he even doing looking over at the Red Sox dugout as the guy's walking in there? I'd say rabbit ears, but Contreras didn't say anything. But the first game after that game was kind of early, breezed through four innings, looked really great. And the last pitch he threw in inning four, his elbow hurt. The Red Sox smartly took him immediately out of the game and put him on the disabled list. They're not messing around. And they were tests done yesterday. Fortunately, they came back. There was no structural damage. They think he'll probably just miss the one start with the DL stint and the All-Star break coming up. So that was good news. I don't know who will replace him. They're thinking maybe Patrick Sandoval, maybe bringing Bayo back. I'd rather go with Sandoval. Let Bayo stay down in the minors a little bit longer. But that's what it looks like from there. Game two, totally ineffective. Got wrapped. And his fastball, once again, didn't hit 95. He was sitting around 94 miles an hour topping out there. That's not him. So you wonder if he's getting a little bit of fatigue in that arm. Remember, he came out of college and they basically rested him for the rest of that year. Then last year, he flew through the Red Sox minor leagues and into the big leagues, but not by throwing a lot of innings. So they have to be very careful with him. And I would not, one of my plans was for the Red Sox, when Crochet comes back, to give each of their pitchers a 15-day disabled list stint. Early, he's got it now. Tolley, Suarez, and Bennett. And you would rest those guys, and nobody would have to they wouldn't have to really make a roster move for a while. That'd be at least a couple of months. So let's see if they're smart enough to do that, and smart enough if Crochet comes back, whenever he comes back. But another problem for the Sox was they didn't hit. One run in one game, two runs in the other. That's not going to win you too many games. Could have won that first game because Early was breezing along, but they need to hit better. And now they'll be looking at a suspension for Contreras at some point because of the terrible umpiring in game two. Now, Cade Cavalli was pitching for the Nats, and he struck Contreras out. Now, Contreras, on his first at bat, crossed paths with Cavalli as he was leaving the field. That's a no-no after making an out. But Contreras did stop and apologize. That both guys agree on that. So that should have been by the board. But then Cavalli struck him out and yelled, "Sit down, boy." Now, for as long as I can remember, and certainly a long time before me, calling a minority a boy has a racist connotation. And Cavalli swears that he didn't know that. I don't know whether we have to take him at his word or not, but Contreras knew it, and the umpires knew it. And when Contreras was tossed out of the game, I think Cavalli should have gone as well. I don't see how you let him stand there. If he would have used another pejorative instead of boy, I think we all know what that word is, he would have been immediately thrown out. What's the difference? There really isn't none any in this context. So terrible job by the umpiring in the entire series, really, and only overshadowed by the terrible performance by the Red Sox, losing 2 out of 3 at home. Anytime you think they're going to start getting on some sort of run, like in Colorado, they lose 2 out of 3. In Fenway, they lose 2 out of 3 to the Nationals. I think you can discount that Yankee series because, look, the Yankees left Fenway after losing 4 straight, and they played Detroit, the worst road team in the American League, and they got swept. And really, most of the games weren't all that close. Yesterday's was. They were tied 2-2 after 9, Yankees could have scored a run in the 10th to win the game after Detroit did score in the top of the 10th, but they couldn't even do that. And then they got powdered for 4 runs in the top of the 11th and lost 6-2. So I think you can discount that Yankee series as being all that meaningful. They're just not a good ball club right now. They can't hit. So speaking of not being able to hit, the Red Sox are going to have to get a pitcher up from the minor leagues, and it's really going to come down to one of 2 guys to replace Connolly Early's start, and that'll either be Patrick Sandoval or Brian Bale. I prefer to take Sandoval's shot. He's going to pitch, I think, Saturday in Worcester or for Worcester. So we'll see how he looks in that game. But I wouldn't mind seeing him come up. Somebody different, another lefty. Maybe we can get a few decent starts out of him and move him for something at the trade deadline, which more and more looks like the Sox will have to be a seller. I don't have to be a seller, though. I like this show. I hope you like it, too. If you do, give us a like, give us a subscribe. I'm Jerry, and we're here every day. So very few exceptions. So give us a call. And, oh, by the way, you also leave a comment. I love those. So we'll talk to you soon. Once again, this is Kinnick's Corner. I'll see you tomorrow.